Lots of people had hoped that this particular channel here in the United Kingdom, well, would have gone private, privatisation, simply because of their continual attacks, bad taste TV programming, multimillionaire sort of CEO who's raking in thousands of pounds, even though ratings are plummeting on a daily basis. You get the picture. But no, this particular channel now sees fit to poke fun once again at a senior member of the British monarchy. And as ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London, and as ever, nice to have your company. By the way, it's interesting to note, isn't it, that even the stars, and I use that term loosely, of The Crown from Netflix are now hitting out at some of the stories, and more importantly, some of the looks. In particular, this lady here, Marcia Warren, a brilliant actress, in fact. I've seen her in many things. She now takes the role of the late Queen Mother, and basically has said, look, they've made me look older than the Queen Mother ever did. She admits that she had to wear a bodysuit to plump up, etc. But, she looks nothing like the Queen Mother. And this is, of course, why Harry and Meghan's sort of employers are a bit of a laughing stock. They've kind of thought, well, we'll just get this person. She's a reasonable actress. We'll stick her in a fat suit and that'll do. Now the actress is basically saying, look, I look ridiculous. What do you do when the stars sort of, rebel against what you're supposed to be claiming is a wonderful, structured, and more importantly, factually correct sort of programme? I'd love to know what you think in the comments below. Back as ever, though, to your other royal story of the day. This story really centres upon the fact that, as we know, the Duke of York, Prince Andrew, whichever you want to call him, has not had the best of years. But guess what? Channel 4, headed by this lady here, have decided to make a mockery of his life, this time in a musical form, all based upon, of course, his recent mishaps and misguided friendships, including that infamous Newsnight interview. You get the scene really when, of course, the songs and indeed the people playing the parts of certain famous people, including a drag queen as Margaret Thatcher and someone playing Tony Blair. So you can see, while it's not necessarily fun, it's more rather cruel on many different turns. The lefty station, though, is trying everything to rake up some interest factor. Let me tell you this, though. Advertisers are not necessarily queuing up to put a lot of money down in the ad breaks as people had first thought. Interesting that, isn't it? Why would you want to be seen associated with such a low-grade program? As I say, this is the channel who recently had their main presenter, Christian Guru Murphy, swearing live on air, that's right, against a government minister. But apparently it's all in the best possible taste, as the late and wonderful Kenny Everett famously said. Seemingly not, though. It's going to be a bit of a disaster, one would suspect, when they decide to come up with Prince Andrew the musical. Moving forward, of course, will they have any repercussions? Possibly not, but maybe the government, hopefully, can relook at privatisation of this particular channel, which so far is funded in some rather dubious forms. As ever, I'd love to know what you think to these particular stories in the comments below. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.